The broken windows theory of crime prevention is something that got popular in New York City in about 1990. There had been an article written called Broken Windows. I forget who the authors were, but the idea of broken windows is that if in a given neighborhood there's petty crime going on, like there's vandals that are breaking windows in an abandoned building, or there's people littering the street, and the police don't do anything about it because they're focusing on violent crime and they're trying to use their resources wisely, the unintended byproduct of that is that more crime will be committed. If vandals or if street criminals see that there's broken windows in a building and the police aren't doing anything to stop it, they'll break into the building, and once they're in there, they may steal the copper plumbing out of it. Or if they see trash on the street, they may decide, well, no one's really looking after this street, so I'll just, publicly urinate out here. And it leads to this cascading effect whereby more crimes are committed. So in 1990, there was a new chief of the New York Transit Police. His name was William Bratton, and he later became the chief of the LAPD. And he basically made broken windows the approach of the New York Transit Police. For example, in the past, if people had gone into the New York City subway system and jumped over the turnstile and dodged the fare, the police probably would not go after them. But under the broken windows theory, there was a zero tolerance policy that replaced that approach. And if you dodged the fare, the police were going to arrest you. If you spit on the platform of the subway, the police were going to issue you a ticket and fine you. If you publicly urinated or if you littered, there was going to be zero tolerance for that. The mayor of New York City at that time was Rudolph Giuliani, and he really embraced this idea of policing as a way of reducing crime in New York City in a way that almost seemed counterintuitive. Why would do you really want police chasing after fare dodgers and arresting people for public urination when they could be, preventing a really violent crime? But the results of this broken windows theory were very apparently remarkable. Crime, all categories of crime, not just petty crimes, but serious crime, went way down in New York City immediately and continued to drop for years after that. So broken windows is a term that you hear a lot in the context of crime prevention. William Bratton was considered a great success. I think he and Mayor Giuliani had some kind of falling out, but William Bratton later became the chief of police in the LAPD. Although crime prevention is not something that you so much think of when you think of the reform of the LAPD that resulted from the work of the Christopher Commission, I think it does deserve some mention because there were great reforms of the LAPD after the Rodney King incident. Rodney King was a black man who was arrested, beaten very severely, beaten very badly. It was captured on videotape, unbeknownst to the police at the time. There was a trial against the officers. In the first trial, they were acquitted of having done anything wrong. The LA riots resulted, I think, 55 people were killed. Just very severe rioting. There was a second trial in which I think 2 of the officers were convicted of civil rights violations. But the upshot of all of that was really a top-to-bottom look at the Los Angeles Police Department and a reform of that police department to make police more accountable, less racist, and there was racism in the LAPD, and to try to eliminate excessive use of force by police against citizens, particularly people of color and African American citizens. And I don't know whether crime in Los Angeles has gone up or down since those reforms are implemented. My guess is that it has probably gone down, and that is also true nationwide. But the ways in which our officials in the United States try to prevent crime and try to enforce the laws has gone through this continuing evolution that continues up through the present day.